Hi guys, RJ here. Man, today was a extremely busy day. Was out driving in the rain, got a flat tire, had to pull up side of the road, change the tire. And you know how you feel when you get just wet and dirty and you just can't wait to get into a shower. Well, just one of those days, but everything's cool, everything's back to normal. Uh, got back home here and saw a YouTube video of David Peterson and on a hangout where he was talking with some of the other ARB YouTubers, and also where Crypto Batman had entered into the discussion. And the one thing that stood out there with me was that that was a very good thing as long as there was a genuine understanding. David Peterson is really he's 100, man. He's very good with people, and you can tell. And we need more people like that in the world. Some of these world leaders can learn a lesson in this type of demeanor. He didn't try to insult anyone. He didn't try to hurt anyone. He didn't have a chip on his shoulder. He was just cool and mellow and really got down to business. And that's something that I really appreciate in any person who has control of their mental facility. And also, this thing right here, the tongue. My kudos, rather, to David, and I thought that was a very good job. Now, there's one thing with me. I guess maybe this part of my military days and having raised children and having to show some tough love. I'm not too quick out of the gate to think that Crypto Batman has changed his ways. Yes, he should be welcomed into the ARB community. The one thing that stands out with me is that Crypto Batman reached out to the SEC and he attempted to sick the dogs, the SEC dogs, on arbitraging. Think about that. In my mind, I try to roll over why would an individual, and this doesn't have to be Crypto Batman, this can be anyone, why would an individual go through all that if they didn't already have in their mind that this platform was a scam, or if they didn't believe that it was a scam, that perhaps he had some personal problem with, say, David Peterson. He prejudged him. You see, prejudged, that's prejudiced. And I don't mean that in a racial way. I'm saying, you've prejudged someone without even sitting down and talking with them and getting to know them. Communication is a two-way street. You have a sender and a receiver, and those arrows are going back and forth between the sender and the receiver. And I was very impressed with David's demeanor. He wasn't trying to throw stones, he wasn't trying to hurt anyone. He wanted understanding and peaceful relations, so to speak. But we have an individual here who tried to sick the SEC on arbitraging. For what end? To bring it down. The way I think about this is that if an individual is going to go through all that effort to contact the SEC and they get on YouTube and gloat about it and brag about it and make threats and ultimatums, then this individual was trying to harm all of the individuals who are participating on that platform. If you bring down a platform, you're going to bring down the thousands of people who have money in that platform. That individual simply isn't thinking properly or simply doesn't care who he hurts. And again, yes, welcome him to our platform. I sincerely mean that. I also hope that he puts money into the platform and that he benefits from it like everyone else. And that's really what it's all about, benefiting yourself, not hurting other people. But if an individual goes to all that effort to contact officials with the goal of bringing down arbitraging, thus harming all of the individuals or trying to harm all the individuals who have money on that platform, that speaks volumes to me. And I just don't think that he has, because watching or listening, talking with David in one session, that he's all of a sudden has a change of heart. He has said some of the most terrible things towards the arbitraging platform. Persons like myself and others who would come out, and I don't try to issue out hate. I try to be reasonable, and I speak tough, but it's like in a tough, loving way, that just, to get a person to understand that, you could be wrong. Why are you so certain that this and that is a scam? Do you have money on that platform? You see, that's how I approach it. If you have money on a platform and if you lose it, and if you can come forward and produce evidence that it scammed you, then I can understand going to, say, the SEC or some other authority. But none of those things happen. So what was your motivation for going to the SEC? What was your true motivation? I'm not buying the idea because you believe it was a scam. I'm not buying that. It seems like there was something more deep-rooted and more emotionally driven that caused you to do that. Maybe perhaps to hurt people. Now, with all of the effort he put in to paint that negative portrait of arbitraging, it should require that same amount of effort and time to erase that portrait and paint a positive one. I don't believe in rewarding bad behavior because that cripples the individual. They don't learn. And plus, it encourages other individuals, say, who think in that way, to do the exact same thing he did, knowing that he's going to get rewarded for it. Now, if Crypto Batman is truly, say, repentant, I'm using that word there, for what he has done and said. Now, you can't erase what he did because he actually did contact the SEC, and based on what I heard in the Hangout, he contacted someone else as well. If he did all that, it is beyond me why he's being given money. I can understand helping a guy out, but I'm tough like that, and I'm going to watch you and see if you really changed, because I've dealt with individuals like this, and I'm not saying all of them are like that, but I'll say 85% of the time, those types of individuals will change colors on you if something goes wrong. So if something should go wrong on the arbitraging platform that is not in arbitraging's control, or if he doesn't have some type of input, or if his input into something is, say, rejected, those types of individuals don't like rejection. And he could easily resort right back to the same thing that he was doing. But I just don't believe that in one day that an individual like that is going to just change. That is not going to happen. And I don't believe, I'm going to repeat myself, I don't believe in rewarding bad behavior. Respect is earned. Trust is earned. And when I see an individual out here saying how bad all of us, our promoters are, and issuing threat and ultimatum and warnings and things like that, first of all, I would say that he owes all of the YouTube promoters of ARB an apology, and he also owes the entire arbitraging community an apology. And he owes David Peterson, most of all, an apology. I poked my head into the Telegram group, and I saw a few posts that Crypto Batman had made in there, and he said something about that he won't let us down again. Well, you never should have let us down in the first place. This is the way I see it. You jumped the gun. You have a tendency of jumping the gun. And I'm not trying to come down on you. I'm just being real with you that I'm not convinced. Not yet. It's going to take just as much time that you put in to defame arbitraging to get me to think that you have somehow changed. I'm not buying it. And maybe that's that military sergeant in me, but I'm not buying it. But at the same time, yes, you should be welcomed into the ARB community, but you should be humbled. And your voice shouldn't be a loud voice in that community either. You have to earn the respect of all who have been in that community long before you. You just can't come in there like, you've got some special privileges. No. And I personally think, and this is just me speaking here, I personally think by giving you money is the wrong thing to do. Because there are a lot of people out here who deserve to have money given to them, and they didn't do anything that you did. They didn't contact the SEC. There are individuals out here who I firmly believe if they just had $100 to buy some ARB and put into the A-bot, they'd be so happy. And I don't believe that you should be giving money to overstep all those innocent persons to give you an advantage. I don't. I think you should pull your own self up by the bootstraps, and you put in the work, put in as much work as you put in defaming and putting ARB down to pull ARB up, and under your own morals, put your own money into arbitraging and earn. That's how I see it. But I don't wish you any ill will. I want you to make money just like I am and everyone else is. This is a free economy. This is a free market. I said that in my previous video. And I always believe that. This is equal opportunity for everyone, including you. But I need to see. I'll give you guys an update tomorrow on my status in my A-bot, and also I'm looking forward to the big announcement that David's going to make tomorrow, and looking forward for the opening of the M-bot. I have not decided yet whether or not I'm going to participate in that. I do have all of my exchanges set up just in case I'm going to get involved, and for those of you who don't have your exchanges lined up, get your exchanges in order. You've got to have those exchanges set up in order to participate in the M-bot. And the best place to go is the arbitraging blog website. I apologize, I don't have the link, but I will post it on the video here. You'll see it flash up here in a few moments. And get your exchanges set up if you want to participate in the M-bot. There's going to be a learning curve, but right now I'm happy with the A-bot. The A-bot's doing fine by me. Okay, so again, this is RJ. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.